What up, man? It's your boy Loso, in case you ain't know so, and I'm on the Youngest in the Yacht Club podcast right now. Yes, sir.
Fly Latino gang, they want the money and fame. We go to the city and we don't be tucking our chain. Woke up in paradise and we live in the drain. I know it won't be the same. Someone go put a cocaine. Fly Latino gang.
I used to dream of something like this. Remember times I was doing.
Youngest in the Yacht Club. Oh man, I got my dog here. Loso, what up, man?
Chilling, man. What's up, bro? It's an honor, finally.
Bro, thank you for showing love and gracing us with your presence, dog. For real. Yeah. The things that you're doing as far as like in the industry, things that you're doing with your brand, the things that you do as a man, dog.
Yeah.
You gotta give him the flowers, dog. Big facts,
I need that.
dog.
I need you to intro all my stuff, bro.
Hey,
Like
yeah,
that.
we got. Hey, I'm there, because you be getting crazy on them, dog.
Appreciate that, man.
Who is Loso?
Man, I would tell people, bro, like, I'm a creator at heart, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter what field I'm in. So right now, primarily people know me because of battle rap, and I take that, I wear that as a badge of honor, you know what I'm saying? Because there's not too many out there doing that at a high level, right? Like, it seems like when you just say you're a rapper, like, everybody's a rapper, right?
Right.
So you got to do something that sets you apart. But for me, I do rap, you know what I'm saying? I put out music as well, and then you see my music videos. Like, it's not like
Top notch.
Yeah, like, it's nothing that, like, you could just swipe up. Like, I make sure I do that at high quality, but I know battle rap is what carries, like, my platform. And so I do that. I do that. I'm on poetry tours. I do a little acting now, you know what I'm saying, which I actually want to do a little more of.
That's fire.
And so just, trying to make sure, and then, I do my streaming at home, and just trying to make sure that, I got my hands in a bunch of different things, and I'm doing all of them well. Like, it's high art. And so I want people to know, like, yo, it's this, Tampa. I tell people Tampa native, but, I was born in Queens, New York. But I say Tampa because this is where I got my first fight, my first kids, my first, you know what I'm saying? Like,
same as
like
me,
my
dog.
thing is like New York. Yeah, I was there since I was 10.
Right.
But I was raised in Tampa. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I learned how to rap out here. All these different things. And so, so that's it. Puerto Rican, Colombian, bro. Proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Just anything that I kind of like hone in on, like, I'm not ashamed of any part of me. And so I try to make sure that I put that in my art, put that in the forefront of whenever I'm speaking. And so, people get an artist that's just not, it's not your average guy. Like, I just want to make sure that whatever I'm doing is pure to who I am. So
That's fire, dog. And I feel you on all those aspects because there's not many people from Tampa that are actually from Tampa, like born and raised, because everybody comes here. So how were you raised? Like, what was the family structure, the dynamic, the dichotomy? How was that?
Single mother, man. Single mother, Puerto Rican, and
Your mom was Puerto Rican.
Yep.
Okay.
My mom's Puerto Rican. My dad's Colombian.
Okay.
But so my dad, growing up, I mean, he was involved in a bunch of different things that he shouldn't have been involved in, right? And so he ends up going back to prison in Colombia, and so which leaves my mom raising 4 kids in Queens, New York.
Wow.
And so my mom just ended up packing up. She ended up, grabbing her things, $200 in her pocket, and she just flew us down to Tampa because we had family that was living in Tampa.
Okay.
One of her closest aunts at the time was just like, come down here, you can start over. And so I was 10, like I said. 2 years later, though, I find out that my father was murdered. Wow. And so he was murdered in prison.
Wow.
And so, like I said, he was involved in stuff that he shouldn't have been involved with. It was definitely some gang activity and stuff. And so they end up killing him. I get the news of it maybe like 3 days after Thanksgiving, and when I was 12. And so at that point, I remember saying to myself, okay, well, where's my father figure? What, like I remember thinking to myself, and obviously not saying it like that, I'm 12, but I remember looking around like, okay, well, who do I look up to? Right. I had a cousin who was rapping at the time, and he was just like the coolest guy in the world. Like, I mean, he had all the women, he was rapping, he was great at rapping, he could hoop. I wanted to embody that at the time. Right. And then on top of that, then I was looking on, I was introduced to hip hop at this time, so I'm looking on TV. So whatever MTV and BET was showing, that's what I'm thinking is what means to be a man too, right? Like, the more cars you have, the more money you have, whatever it is. And so not knowing that, like, ironically enough, watching my mom kind of taught me more about manhood. It was just like, yo, taking accountability, like being responsible, like owning up to what you need to do, like owning up to your mistakes, but then also saying, you know what, I'm not about to give up. And so just watching her, like I tell people all the time, like watching my mom being a single mom with 4 kids and raising us and working 2 jobs. I remember she was working KFC and Burger King, bro, going back and forth while we was, in a 2-bedroom, apartment in the project, stuff like that. Me watching that though, taught me how to hustle, taught me how to grind. I remember at a young age, bro, like I had got some like money at the school. Like it was like maybe like $1 and some 50 cents, right? And we were walking home. My mom was like, man, I don't have we need to buy some toilet paper. And I said, don't worry, Mom, I got you. And it fell out of my pocket, so I lost it. And I remember I couldn't get it. She was like, it's okay. But I remember being so crushed that I couldn't give my mom $1.50. This is me like at like 11 years old.
Wow.
And so I remember saying to myself, man, I want to get to a point where Mom don't even have to ask for that no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's not for me. It's not for my selfish motives and nothing like that. I just want to make sure that I'm giving back to anybody who kind of like helped me growing up. So growing up, like, moving apartment to apartment, we were kids doing, what young boys do. Getting my mom evicted out of apartments when we shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? Getting into fights when we shouldn't have.
Right.
But growing up, that was the household. And so, but then it transitioned to my mom working a lot. So she put us into a Boys and Girls Club out here in Tampa, which was Rembrandt Boys and Girls Club. And that's where we kind of like build the community with some like other guys in South Tampa and Port Tampa. And this is my first time like learning how to play basketball, learning how to play football. Like it was just engraved in me. And so then transitioning out of that, I met another group of friends and they were rappers. And so I had never rapped before. Now I was listening to rap all the time. I was watching all that stuff, but that was the first time where I was like, oh snap, this is kind of what I like to do and stuff. And so moving from middle school to middle school, then finishing high school out in Jefferson High School, finished all 4 years there. And so, just it's still to this day, my mom and I were still mad close. All her kids are still in Tampa, so we all still around the same area. We just try to be there for each other, man.
That's fire, bro. And that's a great story, man, because it's important, especially with the youngest in the Yacht Club, bro. We want to get a backstory because we see you not just in Tampa, right? We see you all over the place. How did you come up in the, like, okay, so you started rapping.
Yeah.
What was the beginning stages of Loso in the rap stages? How did it go, like the transition?
So I had some, like I said, I had some friends, right, who were rapping. And just because we were cool, they would like randomly ask me like, yo, you should put a verse on this. Never rapped before.
Wow.
And so I remember one of my friends did that and I did a verse and it was just, I just did it. And they liked it. It was cool. But really what kind of like motivated me to write, I was volunteering at a juvenile detention center. And these guys, what they had on Fridays were like their own version of open mic, which was dope for them, right? They couldn't leave or nothing like that. So they did it themselves and they would rap, they would all write stuff. And they would tell me, it was like, yo, Mr. Bedore, go ahead and do it. And so I went and I wrote a verse, like almost like a testimonial piece. And there was a guy there who was also volunteering and he had a studio. He had a studio at his crib, and he hears me doing it, and he pulls me aside afterwards, and he says, yo, I want you to come to my apartment tomorrow. Like, are you free? And I was like, yeah. So I go, and actually me and 2 of my other homies, we went, and he locks the door behind us, and he starts throwing on beats, and he says, go ahead and write. I was like, what? And I had never done nothing like this. And he was just throwing beat after beat. And what he was doing at the time was training me to kind of get to a point of just going to the studio and just being able to write on the spot, bro. And he started just having me. That's where I got comfortable being in the studio, getting, learning how to like punch and do certain things. And at the time, I had already became a fan of battle rap. So my style of rapping, and for me, my favorite rappers growing up was Fabulous, Cassidy. Like, so it was. Even though I loved everybody,
right.
Like, and I'm being in the South, you was just on that party music anyway, but for me, I was still grabbing, like anything Fabulous did, I was running to it. Anything, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Anything Cassidy did at the time, I was running to it. And I was just like, yo, like battle rap, that punchline stuff. So that's how I started writing. So I did that. But it was only like, it obviously was a ceiling. Like I didn't really have a desire to kind of like pass out my mixtape at the corner of the street. I didn't have a desire to go do open mics or something like that. I didn't have a desire to put myself out there, even though I was doing like small like shows and venues here and there. But what happened was in 2013, I heard about a competition in Chicago, and it was called the Rapzilla 16 bar competition, and hundreds of people submitted a verse, and they were picking the top 10 verses, and it wasn't no battle. It was basically just like, yo, who had the hottest 16? That's what it was.
Right.
So you rap the 16, and then if your 16 was chosen, they'll bring you out to Chicago. Well, one of my verses was chosen, and so I was like, oh snap, I'm one of the 10 finalists. They bring us out to Chicago, and it's a bunch of talented MCs out there, bro. And I was super nervous. I had never done anything like this. You got to think about it. Now you see me as Loso. At this time, I had no clue what to do. And all you were doing, you just had to have 3 different 16s, but you were going 16, your 16 versus your 16, right? Mm-hmm. You'll rap yours in front of the crowd. They'll give you a reaction. They'll rap mine. Boom. Whoever had the better one moves on. And then, you use your next one. You use your next one and stuff. So I remember I had this one verse out of the 3 that I was like, oh, that's, when you play spades, you're like, yeah, I got 3 books. You know what I'm saying? This one I had 1 book. I knew for sure they wasn't beating this verse. And so crazy enough, everybody's in the back, man. I remember everybody just being super confident. And I was like, I was about to throw up, bro. I was super nervous.
Mom spaghetti.
Literally, bro. Literally. So what ends up happening is they say, yo, Loso, you going against this guy named Street Hymns, which is crazy enough. He's actually one of my best friends right now.
Wow.
And so, but at the time, this is our first time meeting each other. Right before we get into this competition, I remember hearing Street Hymns he's just doing his regular trash talk. He's a great lyricist. He's one of the best writers I know. But he was running around. He was like, yo, my first round is about to set the tone for the night. And so when they picked our names and they said, yo, you going against Street Hymns first round, I said, I was like, oh, damn. So I did not want to lose first round. Right. And remember, I told you I was sitting on a bomb. Yeah. The other 2, I was like, but this one I was sitting on a bomb. That shit. So I said, man, I wanted to save that in case I got to the finals. Right. But I was like, bro, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to the finals, so I might as well use this thing now. So he goes and he has a crazy verse. And then I go. Now, here's the thing. Remember, I told you I had already been watching battle rap. Mm-hmm. So even though it's a 16-bar challenge, everybody was rapping basically like a 16 bar that they wrote for a song, but they were just like, slowing it down, kind of being a little more clear because it's a cappella. Right. Well, I wrote a 16 bar verse, but I wrote it with like a delivery that a battle rapper has, even though I had never battled before. Right. So I go up, after the street goes, I go and I do my verse, and bro, the building is erupting. Like, I remember to the point that one of my punchlines at the end, it wasn't even supposed to end the verse, but I had to end it because they were going so crazy. I had forgot the rest of the verse. So I was like, oh, that's the end of it. And so they go crazy.
So you basically had a 12.
Yeah. Basically, I used a 12 on them. And so one of the judges for this competition was MC Jin, which is, if anybody watched 106 in Park growing up, Jin is Jin, right? Yeah. That signed a Rough Rider. He's one of the most legendary freestyle battlers, Smack DVDs, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. He's one of the judges there. Wow. Long story short, bro, I win the whole tournament. I win the whole thing with the first time. I go to the next one, and I win it, right? Right. And my other joints were pretty good too. I just didn't think they were as good. Right. Jin pulls me aside and says, yo, have you ever thought about battle rapping? I said, nah. I said, bro, I can never do that. I can never do what y'all do. I can never memorize that much material, perform in front of those people. He's like, bro, look, I think you should do it. If anybody should do it, I think you should do it.
That's crazy.
And I was just like,
Jin is telling you this.
Jin is telling me this. But at the same time, I was just like, bro, I can't. So 2015 comes around, and I put up a post on Facebook, and I say, yo, are there any battle leagues in Tampa? And somebody responds and was like, yo, there's this dude who has a battle league. His name is Annex.
Annex, yeah.
Annex. So Annex has a battle league at the time. It's called Enter the Dungeon. And I think they're doing tryouts. So Annex writes me and says, yo, do you have any footage? I know you don't have any battle rap footage. Do you have any footage of you just rapping, right? And I said, yeah, I actually got, here goes a YouTube link. And I sent him a YouTube link of me like rapping for like 10 minutes. 20 minutes later, he writes me back. He's like, where the hell have you been? He said, where the hell have you been? Right. And so he gives me a tryout. Boom. I end up winning the judge battle and everything. After that, I ended up going to Atlanta and doing like this 26-man tournament, and I win that whole tournament. Bro.
Wow.
And so from there, so in battle rap, whenever you get in battle rap, I mean, you could be a local. There's guys battling right now that don't break through being a household name or something like that.
Right.
I always tell people, man, it was God's grace that like I was put in certain situations that like if I did my job, it was gonna get maximized. And so, like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, like, my elevation was like quick, like it was, you know what I'm saying? And it was on a smaller platform than what URL smacking that I'm on now.
Right. I
was on Bullpen in Atlanta, and it just shot up. And so after that, bro, I looked around. I remember when I first started battle rapping, it was just to do it as a bucket list. I was just like, let me just do it just to see if I can.
Right.
It got to a point where I was like, oh, I can't stop now.
Yeah.
And so that became the vehicle for what you know as Loso now. And like I said, through that, you know, I kind of just I end up, you know, being able to put out other things and execute other aspects of my art. But that's kind of, I would say that's the start of me rapping and then transitioning to battle rap.
That's fire, bro. That's fire. That story is crazy.
Yeah.
That story is crazy. For a legend to come and tell you, and then you kind of like, God, no, and then just out of nowhere, just make it move. That's awesome, bro. And so we were talking about something. I kind of want to get to that point, right? And you said you were a fan of battle rap, right? And you're one of the hottest ones out there right now. You're putting on for a lot of Latinos, man. Like, how does that like? Because when I see you, you know, there's not much representation. We talked about that. Yeah. How does that feel, man? Yeah, man.
I get hit up a lot from you know, I'm Puerto Rican Colombian, right?
Right.
But in battle rap, I get called Mexican. I get called whatever, like whatever fits their punchline, right?
Right.
But I actually learned this from Cortez, because when I was a fan of battle rap, Cortez was my favorite battle rapper. One, I thought he was nice, but two, I looked at him and I said, "Oh, there goes a Latino doing it at the highest level."
Yeah.
Regardless if the rest of the world rocks with you, I rock with you, Cortez. Like, he didn't know me. I'm like 21 years old watching him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or even younger than that. I remember being in my mom's kitchen, going on YouTube, watching Cortez on Grind Time and stuff.
So shout out to Cortez too. We were just talking about.
Okay, yeah. So you know, for me, like, that's me I'm in my 30s now, so that's me as a kid watching him. And so I remember just like being so invested in his wins and his losses because I felt a connection with him. And so now where I'm at now, you know, what, quote unquote, if you want to say, yo, I'm one of the biggest Latinos, one of the best Latinos, whatever it is, putting it on.
Top of the game.
To me, I hold it as a badge of honor, and I don't ever shy away from, like, I don't ever come out and be like, stop calling me Mexican or stop calling me this, stop calling me that, because I know when I'm up there, I'm representing for a big community that's, they just want to see some representation up there.
Absolutely.
If they see some representation of Latinos up there, they'll be like, yo, we can do this. And not only can we do this, but regardless if we can't do this, yo, we're fans. We just want to rock with you. And so I get hundreds of messages like that, bro. And I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of it. And to be one of the few that's doing it at a high level and consistently. Like, I've been like, every year they do a top 20 list. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been doing it for 6 years. I've made 4 of those. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
And so not too many. There's battle rappers who haven't even made one.
Yeah.
Who's dope. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to make sure that I'm being as great as I am, but also remembering, like, yo, there's a line of people. There's like a core fan base specifically that are saying, like, yo, when you go up there and you rap, like we with you, whether the Cubans, whether Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, whatever it is, and I want to let them know, like, yo, I don't take that lightly. I don't take that lightly at all. I don't care what they have to say. When I'm on stage, like, I'm putting on for myself, I'm putting on for whatever, but I definitely represent y'all too. And so, and you know, I get that from Cortez. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he was doing a great job. I thought he still does a great job at it too. But he did a wonderful job for me not even knowing. He didn't even know at the time, yo, there's this kid in his mom's kitchen watching him, and he can't wait to go ahead and become a battle rapper because of what you influenced. And I know for me, when I'm doing it, there's probably a kid somewhere in LA or New York or in Florida who's watching Loso, and he's over there practicing, and he just wants to, whether he's Dominican, Cuban, whatever he is, he can't wait to get on stage and be like, yo, I remember when I was watching Loso. Hey. I remember I was a fan, you know what I'm saying? So I never take that for granted, bro.
Bruh, and you're doing it at a high level, and probably the top Latino that I've seen. Yeah. And shout out to Cortez, like we said, man, because you know, you're paving the way. He paved the way for people like you, and you're paving the way for people like us. So definitely, bro, it's inspiring to see, dog. Like especially, you know, not just that you're doing it, because there's people that are doing it, but you ain't the Mark Sanchez of it, right? Shout out to Mark Sanchez, right? You not fumbling the ball, dog.
He made it to the NFL, he made it to that,
but you're not just making it, bro. You're slaughtering cats. And here's another thing, bro. I wanna touch on this. I know it's youngest in the Yacht Club, and we get busy on here, and we you know, we see the glitz, we see the glam, but you are staying true not just to yourself but also to your faith, man. How important is your faith to you? And there are people who like to try to expose that, right? How important is your faith, man?
Man, so I always tell people this, like, you know, they try to say, like, in battle rap, right? It's like, are you a Christian rapper or doing this? And I was like, yo, at the end of the day, bro, like, where we come from,
right?
Like, if you make it out, you know, it's a testament to God. That's
Big
it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't do it by yourself.
I can't ever, bro. There's never a time where I've looked back and I'm just like, yeah, bro, I did that. I did what I was supposed to, right? But I understand that there's a bigger vehicle at hand. And so it's not even so much that I come out and I try to be preachy in my raps, or I try to be preachy in my battles or in my interviews or nothing like that. Two things I want people to know. One, I'm unashamed of everything that I am, right? And that includes me believing in God. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am. It's not me trying to put on a front. Right. It's not me. Same way when I was in the hood and I was repping whatever, like, it was just what it was. It was just who I was around and stuff. Two, I also want that to be out there because, man, I done built so many relationships in battle rap with battle rappers, and you can ask, I mean, you can ask maybe 10, 15, 20 of the top guys in this, and they'll be like, yo, how's your relationship with Loso? And they'll be like, yo, we not even talking battle rap right now. One of the realest I ever met. And they'll tell you that because when they was at their lowest, who was on the phone with them? You know what I'm saying? When such and such was locked up, who was there? When such and such needed something, like, and I want to tell them, like, yo, I want to just be like, one of my quotes in battle rap, you know what I'm saying? I was like, look, you don't have to invest and you don't have to give back, but there's a difference when you rap to impress and when you rap to impact. And so for me, I can impress y'all all day, but I want to leave a mark that's something bigger than that. And so those battle rappers and the fans, they know that. And so I want to make sure that I'm impacting them, not just with my words, but with my time, with my wallet. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I'm sacrificing things that they know, because that's what love is, right? Like, it's sacrifices. So for them, I want them to, when I leave, they'll be like, nah, yo, he wasn't just walking amongst us, but he was walking with us.
Big facts.
And so
and leading at the same time.
Yeah, and so you know, it's important to me, and that's not me to get up on here and get some sort of like recognition for that, because I feel like we all should be doing that.
Right.
But that's just me saying, like, yo, my faith ain't no gimmick. It's not like something that I put on just when I get on stage. Like, it's just who I am. I just want to be. I want to love my neighbor. I want to love my brother, my sister, and in whatever way I can do that, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I got such great relationships within battle rap, a culture that, you know, they could care. Like you said, they'll attack my belief in God and stuff like that.
Yeah, just because it's an opening.
It's an opening, right? But my thing is, like, when we get off stage, they know what's real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, I take just as much as I take pride in me being Puerto Rican, Latino, whatever it is. Same thing with me saying, like, yo, this is my faith, and this is what it is.
It's fire, bro. And I wanted to touch on it. The reason why I wanted to touch on it, bro, because, you know, bro, Youngest City Yacht Club, they see the glitz, they see the glam, they see you on stage, they see you, right? Yeah. But you know, it's the same thing with me, bro. Like, I'm married. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to hold a job. What's not to like, you know, about seeing somebody who's open about being real and making it cool, bro.
Yeah.
Making it cool, because, like you said, some people are ashamed of what the dream is, right? But when you was young, you was dreaming of being this. And for you to be a man, dog, now and still be moving not just the crowds, but moving people's hearts, bro. It's amazing, bro. And what's not to like about that,
Come
bro?
on, bro. Come on, man. That's why I rock with you.
Yo,
one thing too, I want to say this, man. I don't know if you remember one of the biggest things. So for those who don't know, we used to go to the same gym. Yeah. And I remember one day we was working out, and man, it was something simple, bro. It was something simple, but we must have been doing maybe some biceps or whatnot. Yeah. And you were just like you were next to me, and you were like, "Go ahead, like 3 more, something like 5 more, something like that." And I was just like, "I can't." And you was like, "Yo, don't ever say that around me." Like, I don't know if you like you checked me. You was just like, I was like, "What?" Like, I was really dead. I could not live. You know what I'm saying? You bigger than me and stuff, and I'm just like, "Yo, my dude, like you can do it." But you was just like, "Yo, look, like if you need to take a break, if you need to do whatever, that's fine. But just like don't say that around me. Like when I'm around, I don't want you using that." And I was like, "Yo, that's real." And not too many people got people around them like that. It's just like it just motivates them. So like you said, like the glitz and the glamour or whatnot. At the end of the day, it's just gonna take somebody who's been through the mud with you, like your story, right? Like people know your story and stuff. You coming along, somebody who's even younger, or just somebody who's just like trying to just do his thing and just saying like, "Yo, what do you need? Like, trust me, like there's no obstacle. You want to start your own podcast? Cool. You want to start your own merch company? Here, let me go ahead and send you a link that like whatever it is you can do it." And so something as simple as me just trying to do more bicep curls than what I gave up, and I just said I can't, and you checked me. You was just like, "Yo, don't say that around me." And I was like, "That's real."
Yeah, I appreciate, bro. You know what's crazy, bro, is I remember that moment, and I appreciate that you remember it, bro, because yo, sometimes, bro, the greatness, man, is just in the belief.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And so when I see you, right, especially in that moment, I didn't see a person that couldn't do anything. I saw somebody that could do whatever they want. And I wanted you to know that, that I saw that, you know? I've been through a lot, bro. And I appreciate you recognizing that, dog, because, you know, sometimes even me, bro, you go through it, right? Of
course.
You go through it, and I want you to know, I want everybody to know that it's all good. Yeah. It makes you stronger, bro. So, bro, thank you for recognizing that. That shit helps me. Yes, that shit helps me, bro. Loso, what is on the docket, right? Because where you headed right now? Like, what are the goals that you got for you? Like for Loso as a person, as a.
I think for me, man, you know, like I was saying earlier, there's like different avenues, different things that I kind of want to like excel in. But I want to make sure that whatever, like I said, whatever I'm doing, it's being noticed that, yo, he's doing it at the best. And so I just started doing a little more acting with, there's this company, Last Second C out in LA, right? Dope people. Look them up on YouTube. Now they put some great content out. And my buddy's he's one of the owners of it, and he told me, because he puts a lot of friends in it, right? And like, you know, sometimes when they do their job up there, they're kind of like half-assing it. They're not really doing it. But he sees me like I'm trying to memorize my lines before I get there. I'm trying to ask questions like, "Yo, how you want my face to look? How you want me to like, can I retake it? Can I do this over?" And he tells me all the time, he says, one thing about a person, the way they do anything is the way they do everything. Mm-hmm. And so if you see them do something at 100%, that's how they're gonna do it. If you see them always kind of messing up in this area, you can probably say like, "Yo, when you give them this opportunity over here, it's probably gonna be the same thing." Right. But for me, I want to honor him for giving me that opportunity. But then two, everything that I do, I just want to make sure I kill it. So you know, right now I'm streaming online for this, but it's like a podcast that I got off this streaming company called Caffeine. Okay. Yep. And so you go on Caffeine. It's basically like Twitch, but you know, for people getting on there and just talking. But for me, being a battle rapper, my battle rap fans get to get on there and they just talk with me, ask me questions. Fire. I do that. Obviously, I'm still battling, so I got goals with that.
What are the goals? What are you trying to do this year?
Man, so every year, you know, like I said, they put out a list, a top 20 list, you know, and I think the highest I've reached was like 8. But which is dope because consistently I've never ranked lower than 12, you know what I'm saying? Right. But and that's like 20,000, 25,000 battlers in the world. That's all right? Crazy. And so, but for me, I kind of want to say like, okay, yo, can I get it to that top 5? And really, that's just me just like can I give battle rap that much energy within a year? Because if I was just a battle rapper, I could. But because I wear so many different hats, it's tough for me to kind of do that. And so that's one of my goals there.
But you can do it. You're going to do it, bro.
Yeah. Appreciate that, man. And then, last year I was part of a poetry tour. And so most likely we're going to be doing it again this year. We do it in the autumn. It's called Poets in Autumn.
That's awesome.
And then, just whatever comes. There's ideas in my head that I want to kind of like put down on paper and start, executing. But I already have a bunch of different things that set in motion. But, I heard Joe Budden was like, yo, you could close this door. But like, you understand, like you're never going to close me. Like, I'm just a creator. So when you saw Joe Budden as a rapper, boom. Then he got in Slaughterhouse, boom. Then, he got in, started doing podcasts. And then this got a Spotify. Like, he was like, yo, I'm always gonna, because that's just who I am. I'm a creator at heart, and that's how I want to be too. I just want to do that, and then when I'm done, I want to make sure that I'm ushering the next generation somehow, even whether I'm grabbing one person or 12, and I'm just saying, yo, let's go ahead. What can I do to go ahead and help you become the best version of you?
Bro, you got this, bro. You got this at a high level. Like you said, bro, you've been doing it at a high level. One thing I do want to tell you, man, is to continue. Continue to push the envelope, bro. Continue to break those barriers because it's inspiring, bro. When I see you do your thing, whether it be the music, because I do fuck with your music. I do fuck with your videos, high quality videos. But when I also see you out there putting on, battle rapping is tough, bro. It's at a high, the crazy thing about it is that you keep your cool very well.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've seen you do it at a high level, man, it's inspiring because it makes me feel like I could do what I'm doing too, bro. Thanks. So keep doing that and keep pushing, bro. Where can the fans find you, bro? Yeah,
man. So Instagram and Twitter is where I put out most of my stuff, especially quick things like, like as soon as we, get clips of this, right, this will be up. So everything Loso, everything LOSO on Instagram and Twitter. My caffeine show, you just go to caffeine.tv, I believe, or it's just, you get the app online. And my page is just Loso, LOSO, boom. I'm verified on there and everything. You go ahead and follow me on there. I got like 30,000 followers on there. Come on in. So you'll get notifications whenever I go live. I also got a website, everythingloso.com. I'll be having more merch up coming soon, you know what I'm saying? So best way though, I tell people is like Instagram. Instagram is a quick way for me to kind of get your answers, get your questions answered quick, or get whatever you need from there. I got a one-stop shop there too. So
what about the music?
Same.
Everything Loso?
Yeah, no, Loso. So obviously it's just LOSO, okay. But if you go to my Instagram, you'll get a direct link that takes you over there, or my website. But yeah, I'm on Apple Music, I'm on Spotify, Tidal, all that other stuff.
Go stream this man's shit, you heard?
Yeah, man, go ahead and check all that stuff out.
Bro, thank you, bro. Youngest in the Yacht Club.
Yes,
I appreciate you for being on here, Brody.
Man, we here. Loso. Bye. Yes, sir.
There are more than 102,000 men and women doing time in the Florida State prison system.
I'm Vincent Serrano, they call me 100. It's for my dog, K-Lou. It's Paranoia. PQBJ. Man, I thank God I found a job today. Been a full-time job, not to rob these lanes. Crime pays, so it's mob all day. But why you tricking on the chick when you should probably say, Mommy living in the crib, she could hardly pay. And she having all these kids, she could hardly raise. What are you good for? Call me all these names. Why you trying to rock the boat? I'm coming all these ways. That's why I'm going back to court for calling all these plays. So why we going back and forth for throwing all this shade? Sorry, cause we gon' all be slaves. It's okay, we don't all need J's. I've come a long, long way since I sat down. Had to shut the trap down on my selling pack. Still I couldn't pass the background. Yeah, I'm from Tampa, it's a rat town. Where the crackers wouldn't pass up on a pat down. Platinum plaque now. All I need's a fat round and a half pound. Come here, so have them bring me the crown. Cause dog, I refuse to lay down. Cause when you fall on the floor and you gotta get up and the doors are closed, you can never give up and the money low and you gotta get up. Just go deep inside of your soul and let them know how it goes sometimes. How it goes sometimes. Let them know how it goes sometimes. That's how it go for you end up in a hole. Just know that every 11 seconds another person dies. Out of 10 things the rappers say, 9 might be lies. 8 platinum chains, actually none of them on mine. 7 days in a week, but living one day at a time. is swine. This goes out to everyone who loved to shine. 52 weeks in a year, living one day at a time. Living one day at a time. Looking at my daughter, knowing one day she'll be fine. This is for my dog who about to do some time. Said them choices like a mountain, he knew one day I would climb. Keep your head up. He was always on the grind. When they asked, she respectfully declined. Told me, what people think, make them all respect your mind. And she left you on a Sunday, by Monday be in your prime. Learn from your mistakes, always live in the moment. Don't focus on the X's and O's, exponents. Getting stressed over, you gotta want it. Thoughts costing you bread, think economics. Come to think about it, keeping the promise. The one that I made to my mama, no more narcotics. Just go psychotic on the mic in the bed. If I stumble, get back on my feet. Cause when you fall on the floor, you gotta get up. And the doors are closed, you can never give up. And the money low, and you gotta get up. Just go deep inside of your soul and let them know. That's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes sometimes. Let them know it's how it goes sometimes. That's how it go. For you end up in a hole. Just know that every 11 seconds another person dies. Out of 10 things a rapper say, 9 might be lies. 8 platinum chains, actually none of them are mine. 7 days in a week, but living one day at a time. Making 6 figures, catching mandatory fines. For every real, you have 3 who is swine. This goes out to everyone who loved to shine. 52 weeks in a year, living one day at a time. Monday through Sunday, I'ma make it someday. Sunday to Monday, I know I'ma make it one day. Monday through Sunday, I'ma make it someday. Sunday to Monday, I know I'ma make it one day. I've been places you never go, face it, you never show. Gladiator camp, I was locked up with Russell Crowe. I'm in the gladiator stand, somebody must be exposed. You send it, I receive it, you ain't even shot a bow. You ain't living by the code. 18 years old, already working for them folks. Telling dudes you mail them. What you doing? Just to get people to listen. Got stitches cause you be dry snitches. When you fall on the floor, and you gotta get up. And the doors are closed, you can never give up. And the money low, and you gotta get up. Just go deep inside of your soul and let them know. That's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes sometimes. Let them know that's how it goes sometimes. That's how it go. For you end up in a hole. Just know that every 11 seconds another person dies. Out of 10 things a rapper say, 9 might be lies. 8 platinum chains, actually none of them are mine. 7 days in a week, but living one day at a time. Making 6 figures, catching mandatory fines. Cause for every real, you have 3 who is swine. This goes out to everyone who loved to shine. 52 weeks in a year, living one day at a time. Every 11 seconds another person dies. Out of 10 things a rapper say, 9 might be lies. 8 platinum chains, actually none of them are mine. 7 days in a week, but living one day at a time. Making 6 figures, catching mandatory fines. For every real, you have 3 who is swine. This goes out to everyone who loved to shine. 52 weeks in a year, living one day at a time. Die before I get a chance to spend it, baby. If I had 100 grand, Lord, I might go off the deep end and go blow it all this weekend. Light school, baby. TRF.